in the not too distant future, an under-20 or maybe an under-17 tournament. But here and now, this is all about a place in the last 4 of the tournament. Uruguay will be favourites despite the fact that they've been nowhere near as good as they can be in the 3 matches played in Group A, but they have reached 4 of the last 5 semi-finals in the Copa America.
Yes, I think, Kevin, the response to the anthem was indicative of the great excitement in the country. The players too responding very well. It's a delight to see that. The fans most enthusiastic about this fixture, and it should be, I think, a nail-biting encounter.
Been quite a turnaround in the last decade for Venezuela, largely due to their current coach. And there he is, Ricardo Paez, took over in 2001. He's the longest-serving national team coach in South America. That's his son. Got a brief shot of there. He'll wear number 11 for Venezuela.
Yeah, I think when you play your own son, he's got to be good, because the criticism that would ensue were it to be short of the required standard would be quite considerable. But he's a wily old fox. Oscar Tabarez, 60 years of age, as you said, the longest-serving coach in South America, and a very, very clever coach.
Carini in goal for Uruguay's 4th choice at his club, Inter Milan. Renny Vega has been the custodian for the host nation in each of their 4 matches so far.
Well, the other Inter Milan player, of course, I'm always excited to see Recoba. You know, he suffers from injury, or he has suffered from injury throughout the recent seasons and has not played his full part on Inter Milan's success, but when he's on form and when he's fit, he is a most lethal striker. It's interesting to see Sanchez being replaced by Recoba, and that tells you that they are actually out to be very offensive and get the ball forward quickly to Forlan and Recoba, a formidable striking partnership.
Games gone, and now it's the knockout stage. 50 goals scored. Overall, it's been a most entertaining Copa America, where the accent has been on the positive. These 2 nations turned in a negative performance for most of the 90 minutes on Tuesday to ease themselves into the quarterfinals of the Copa America. Now it's knockout. And this is a strong early start from the Uruguayans, in by Christian Gonzalez, and Christian Rodriguez's cross just didn't quite fall for Diego Forlan, and a foul in the end on Vera. And Venezuela have an early free kick. One thing that was immediately noticeable about Uruguay, though, in the tournament is that they were firmly put on the back foot, losing their opening match by 3 goals to 0. And it really served to produce a change in tactics from the coach Oscar Tabarez. For a long spell now, Uruguay been adopting a 4-3-3 formation, but looks like a top 2 tonight of Forlan and Recoba, with support coming from the number 7, Christian Rodriguez. Here's Forlan. First save of the night for Vega.
That's a good idea, an early shot from Forlan there, signifying intent, and it was a difficult one. It was dipping, it was just in front of the keeper, but he got both hands to it, and Vega did well to parry that one and get it away to safety.
Here's Christian Rodriguez, 2 Rodriguezes in the Uruguayan side. Dario is the left back. Free kick earned and quickly taken by Pablo Garcia. Fusil, who was trying to make ground down the left-hand side, operates at right back or left back. It's left back for Fusil tonight. And referee had a good look at that, thought about it for a moment, and said goal kick Venezuela.
Yeah, Fusil, I've normally seen him at right back, but at left back, he's a bit awkward when it comes to delivering the final ball on the run with his left foot. He's invariably got to check back, bring it into his right foot, and that, of course, reduces the options because and allows the defenders back into covering position. So, you know, we've seen that a couple of times, but he's willing to get forward, that's for sure.
As I was mentioning, Dario Rodriguez is normally the left back. Looks as though he's playing alongside Scotty at the heart of the defence, and Lugano, who's normally a centre-back, is playing at right back. It's an interesting selection from Tabarez defensively.
Yeah, he's a very proactive coach. He's taking these decisions. The reason he'll know, and the reasons may become apparent as the game progresses. But you know, I agree. Lugano, a very good centre-back, now at right back, captaining the side.
Christian Rodriguez. Much more positive from Uruguay. It's almost as if they've been stung by the criticism that's come their way so far here in the tournament. The lower scorers, just one to their name, might get better now. It's Diego Forlan! Denied by Vega, but the shot was straight at the goalkeeper.
It was brilliant play by Forlan. I thought he was going to strike it with his left foot, but he opened up the defence by turning back onto his right. The goal was gaping, but he hit it straight at the keeper. Wonderful play. Everything was correct except the finish. A bit unfortunate, actually, saved by Vega's legs, but wonderful play by Forlan there. He deserved a goal with that.
Diego Forlan, who's just earned himself a move from one La Liga club in Spain to another, off to Atletico Madrid in the season coming from Villarreal after a couple of years or so of excellent service to the Villarreal club.
Yeah, we all know there's one thing about him. Wherever he goes, he gives superb service because he's an energetic, enthusiastic, committed striker. Chases lost causes and very good in front of goal normally. But that was a great opportunity squandered. But give him credit, he created the opportunity for himself.
Plenty of clubs wanted Diego Forlan, including several in England. This is Mea Vitali. Copa. Ambitious from there. Broken kindly for Christian Rodriguez. And again, Vega brought into action.
Yeah, there's obviously a shoot and sight policy here from the Uruguayans. Rodriguez, the ball just gets stuck in below his feet there, but it was a noble attempt. He is naturally left-footed, and I think largely responsible, or one of the guys responsible for the turnaround in the PSG fortunes that were struggling towards the bottom of the league in France. And the new coach, Paul Le Guen, introduced Rodriguez, and I saw him sometimes play exceptionally well in the recovery he had at the end of the season.
Venezuela desperately looking for a toehold in this match. This is Jose Manuel Rey, the most capped player in Venezuelan history. It's his 85th tonight.
Well, working it out with that, well, another 85, I think. He doesn't get over-exert himself. He just stands there calmly, reads the game exceptionally well, sweeps up brilliantly, usually in a deeper position than the other centre-back.
Lakoga. Vera made sure it didn't reach Forlan. important job to do in the centre of midfield. Pablo Garcia reads the game very well. His job to make sure that Uruguay remain compact. Strong running here from Christian Rodriguez! And the shot is wide from Forlan. What an opportunity for Uruguay.
Great play here by Rodriguez. Lovely cut back. It looked easier to score, but Forlan misses his second chance of the match, firing that one wide, and he's a bit despondent there, and I can see the reason why. It was a wonderful opportunity. Great tenacious play by the white player there, Christian Rodriguez, youngster from Paris, 21-year-old. Good attacking movement, and the chances are all falling Uruguay's way.
Well, he's been the most attacking player for Uruguay in this sparkling opening 8 minutes for them. It's almost, when they take the game to Venezuela, it'll be a 4-3-3 for Uruguay. We'll look to try and tuck back in and augment the midfield when necessary. But he's been influential up to now. And Forlan should have scored. Ricardo Paez. Disappointing pass meant for Deonelas.
Yeah, that was a weak one. It was overhit and inaccurate.
Just a reminder that if the sides are level at the end of 90 minutes, no extra time in this Copa America tournament. It's straight to penalties.
I think Lugano will be fortunate to avoid a yellow card. That was a rash, violent challenge.
Speaking of yellow cards, by the way, any player that was on one yellow at the end of the group stage has that booking annulled, so the slate is clean. That was untidy, as Craig mentioned. He got away with it. Lugano. Here's Arango, who's yet to fire in this tournament. A lot of pressure on his shoulders. He's the most celebrated player to come out of Venezuela in recent years, Juan Arango. 3 good years in Mexico before linking up with Real Mallorca in Spain.
Yeah, that was a challenge. That was the arm as well as I think it was his head, but he took the arm up, and again I think he was fortunate to escape a yellow card.
Maldonado hustled out of it by Garcia. Forlan. Pereira. Perez. Ray. He's just agreed to move away from the top club here in Venezuela, Caracas. He'll be playing his football, the man on the ball now in Cyprus next season with AEK Larnaca. He'll be a teammate of the right back, Hector Gonzalez there. Arango, Meir Vitali, passes the ball well. Lots of space for Hector Gonzalez. Punching challenge coming in.
Yeah, Gonzalez was going wide there, but it was a very good challenge from Rodriguez checking back.
Offside against Hector Gonzalez.
Yeah, good play from Uruguay there, because they could sense that the ball was going to be played back to him. They stepped out, well synchronised, excellent defending, and that gains them possession.
Won by Arango. Both sides claiming a throw. It's gone the way of Lugano and Uruguay. Voted Lugano the best defender in South America in 2006. His good form earned him a move to Turkey and Fenerbahce. These Uruguayan players are spread all over the place. As many as 8 different countries in the starting 11 tonight. They play their league football. Here's Hector Gonzalez. Goalkeeper Carini a little bit in no man's land. Just as well for him. There was less on the cross. Here's Arango! Carini denies him. And cleared by Dario Rodriguez. Forlan. Good to switch the play here for Perez.
Well, this is exciting play, a really exciting play from Venezuela. Great shot from Arango there. And following up, that followed a great run down the right-hand side from Hector Gonzalez. Terrific play. This guy looks an exciting fullback. He loves to get forward, and when he goes in the run, it lifts the crowd. You can hear the expectation when he goes into a forward area. But having just made one, I think he's resting up at the moment, ready to make further incursions into the opposing back third there. He's ready to go.
And you won't be surprised to know, Craig, that Hector Gonzalez's nickname is El Turbo.
Oh, it looks like it.
Last touch off Arango. A lot of pressure on his shoulders coming into this tournament. Played a bit part up to now. For the hosts, offside, Maldonado.
He did the job had he been onside, but it was a wonderful reverse pass. Right into his path, marginally offside. The correct decision from the assistant. Well, he proved his worth there when he buried it. Although, I don't think that the keeper, Carini, was determined to save it. He heard the whistle, saw the flag. Over there waiting for some supply, and he's not had much so far.
Forward by Dario Rodriguez. Lugano. Venezuela, one of 3 unbeaten sides at the group stage. Favourites Argentina and Mexico with the others. Tavares waited a long time to begin his second spell in charge of Uruguay. His first was, well, it began in the late 80s and took him up to the World Cup finals in 1990 in Italy. Nigh on 16 years he waited to have another try. Rojas finding Vera. Paez. Maya Vitali passing it around well here, Venezuela. They've settled after Uruguay's blistering opening 10 minutes. Rojas. Arango, little inquiry of the referee as to whether there was a push. Chilean official says no. This is Alvaro Recoba. First start for Recoba, vastly experienced. Oh, that was risky. Good job, his coach is great. Vega got away with it.
Yeah, an experienced goalkeeper of Vega had to be to try that. That took a chance there. Had anything gone wrong, he would have been most embarrassed. But the 28-year-old keeper looks to be a comfortable outfield player, and you know, you see him training nowadays. Goalkeepers taking part because of the change many years ago, of course, now, but the change in the pass-back role has forced them to be more adept with their feet and able to play as an outfield player on occasion.
Well, this time there is a push on Juan Arango. player over the ball, the most capped player in Venezuelan history, has a reputation for his long-range shooting, Jose Manuel Rey, and it is a long, long way out. It looks as though he's setting himself here.
He can't be serious, can he? Looking for a ricochet, looking for that deflection, but from that range.
Well, he has an explosive shot with the right foot, but this is going to need to be special if indeed he does take it. Here he comes, it's Rey. No great velocity in that effort.
No, it was a weak shot. We expected more. Expected the defence would have to work to clear it, but it was a simple one to mop up. He missed it. The wall wasn't required because it was wide of the wall. But they showed respect because they formed the wall from that range, so they know of his capability from distance away, but no chance of that.
If you joined the game late, Uruguay should be winning. Diego Forlan has missed a sitter. Venezuela are looking a much more confident team now, after coming under a fair amount of pressure in that opening 10 minutes. This is Vera, Maya Vitali, Arango. Put out easily by Dario Rodriguez. Cicero. Venezuela competed very well in the last South American World Cup qualifying campaign. They averaged a point a game over the 18 matches, secured 5 wins, and were in contention well into last quarter of that qualifying for Germany 2006. They've never before reached the World Cup finals, but on the back of a promising Copa America here, who knows? And Richard Paez, what might be possible for them in the next 5 or 6 years? They've certainly improved out of all recognition.
Yeah, I've got to say, the evidence of this evening, they look to be improving dramatically, because although 2 chances have fallen to Forlan, Uruguay have not cut them apart. They haven't been totally dominant, and Uruguay has, of course, a very good international reputation worldwide. They do qualify for World Cups, and they do win the Copa America.
Dario Rodriguez, Diego Forlan, now Perez, taken on here by Copa. Shoot away off Arango and out for a Uruguayan corner.
Yeah, he loves to get that left foot on the ball, and as he strikes it brilliantly. We'll see a great delivery, I'm sure, from the corner kick, but his shooting from a small guy is really powerful, with that left in particular.
Nano and Dario Rodriguez have made their way forward from the back. Recoba's corner.
Well, having said he was going to have a good corner, that was very disappointing, as was the return ball.
Third time of asking. Let's see if Recoba can do better. 10 years he's been an Inter Milan player. Hasn't always had the most consistent form over that decade, and a fair number of injuries. Recoba will expect to do better with this one. It is better. It's well dealt with by the goalkeeper Vega. Here's Garcia. Well, that, I'm afraid, was a shot with the swinger. The right foot.
Yeah, that was not Garcia's favourite fruit, and you could see that from the response from the shot. But a better corner kick that time from Recoba. Well punched clear, but the shot from the edge of the box was a weak one.
closing down there from Maldonado. Paez was trying to feed De Ornelas. Pereira puts it back off Recoba. Hits Cicero and Pereira again. Forlan is screaming at him, saying, why didn't he link with him? But I tell you what, that shot wasn't too far away.
Oh, good shot. Great persistent play from Pereira. Forceful, persists. Good, energetic midfield player on the right side, and Pablo Garcia on the left side. Naturally left-footed, Garcia. Pereira right-footed. Both like to support the front, but more Pereira, and we saw evidence of it where Garcia is more the sitting midfield player who is the playmaker from the deep position.
Pereira is the only player in this Uruguayan starting 11 who plays his league football at home. He's with the Defensor Sporting Club. A fair amount of criticism from the Uruguayan fans that the players who they see operating in a lot of the top leagues in Europe don't always turn it on at international level. It's been a relative decline. They haven't been qualifying for too many recent World Cups. Copa America record overall is very good.
Yeah, Arango clearly fell there. Not happy about it. The guy from Mallorca, but he's looked quite impressive for the Venezuelan side.
Good running here by the left back for Venezuela. Rojas, cutback's decent as well. Maldonado can't find a way through. Excellent defending from Uruguay. Here's Forlan. A lovely reverse pass into space here. Opportunity, Christian Rodriguez. The block is excellent from the vastly experienced Ray. Perez. Paez will cut the thrust about this first quarter-final in the Copa America. Dario Rodriguez with the flying header away. I think we can expect all the quarter-finals to be played in this mode as well, when you consider that there's no extra time. Goes straight to penalties after 90. Recoba.
Yeah, Rodriguez moved over to the right-hand side there, and unfortunately for him, the chance he got was in the inside right channel. Here he is, still on the right side, and he had to change feet actually when into the box, and it gave the defender time to make the tackle. But it was an opportunity for Christian Rodriguez. Had he got driven on and been prepared to play it with his right foot.
Both sides are getting good width in their attacking play. Trying to provide width again there, but there simply wasn't a burgundy shirt anywhere near that from De Ornelas. I'm not quite sure what he saw there.
That's a strange pass to no one, De Ornelas. I believe he was at Celtic for a spell, and I never ever heard of him at Celtic.
Yes,
so
he slipped into Glasgow almost unnoticed.
I think he slipped under the cover of darkness and out. I think a couple of months at Celtic, but he didn't ever appear that I can recall, but he's now playing in Norway and doing well there.
Hands up the Queen's Park Rangers and Crystal Palace fans who can remember De Ornelas.
He's certainly not a legend in Glasgow, you can be assured of that.
Had a season at QPR, so we're told, and a couple of months at Palace. Maldonado. Staying in here for Arango, Uruguay. A little slow to close down here. Rojas. Whoa, that was risky. Defender left it, and I'm not sure he knew what was happening in behind him. Maya Vitali. Rojas.
Yeah, twice Rojas has got forward there, wide on that left-hand side. and he's normally a wing back, but he's playing at full back behind Julian Arango tonight. But he showed his capability in the forward position a couple of times.
Good running from Forlan. This is Recoba. Forlan again. Christian Rodriguez. Fusil. Fusil looking to get the wrong side of Hector Gonzalez, did so, and just across evading Forlan. Picked up again here though by Uruguay, and Forlan is wasteful. Not for the first time tonight.
Yeah, his finishing is not perfect, but this is good play. Determined, excellent play. And again, to win the ball in that position was first class. Cut it back, but Forlan's shot was very poor. And I've got to say the same about Rojas defending on that occasion. He was very slack.
As Craig was mentioning, Rojas is a wing-back, and by virtue of that definition, you sense better going forward than defensively. This is Maldonado. Big night for Maldonado, the Venezuelan number 9. He was born of Uruguayan parents, but actually born in Venezuela.
Well, he's working very hard in this match, and he has done in others, but I don't think he scored a goal for a couple of years at international level. And you know, the longer it goes, the more frustrated he'll become, and I think perhaps the less patience his manager will have with him. Can't fight his work rate, but we've got to admit that he's failed to find the net, and that's the job of the striker.
Well, you're right, he did go through a particularly lean period, so he was grateful for scoring the nation's first goal here at this Copa America. Maldonado. In the 2-2 draw against Bolivia. Here now, both side with Menes. Deonelas had found a great position there. Paez went for the glory goal.
Yeah, the preferred option would have been to pass it into feet, but no, he was ambitious. It didn't seem to strike it perfect, leaning back slightly on the left side, and he sliced it. So no threat to Fabio Carini, the Inter Milan keeper, or Inter Milan third or fourth choice keeper. But he is first choice for his country, and he's over 60 caps.
30 lively minutes gone here in San Cristobal. The first of the 4 quarterfinals in Copa America 2007. Venezuela had the better of it for the most part in the last 10 minutes, although Uruguay have not been without their openings in front of goal, but it was firmly Uruguay in the first 10 minutes. Forlan has had one particularly good chance and one presentable one. Played that pass behind Perez. Won back well here though by Lugano. Rojas scored in possession. Here's Forlan. Perez.
You know, when you lose possession, as Rojas did at this level, you're well getting the ball back, very often anyway, and you know, although there was an interception there, Uruguay still have possession.
This is Cicero. Richard Paez will be pretty satisfied, I think. Fortunate that his side is still on terms, though, after that glaring miss from Forlan. They've shown good attacking intent, and as though they might have a goal in them this evening. Arango. Christian Rodriguez. Looks older than his 21 years. Lucille. Good ball from Christian Rodriguez. Copa's shot blocked by Cicero. Did Hector Gonzalez prevent the corner? No, he didn't.
Whenever you see Recoba edging that ball onto his left foot, you know he's lining up for a shot, and let me give him credit to the Venezuelan defence. They knew what was happening. They closed them down and they blocked the shot. Good defending.
Again, Lugano and Dario Rodriguez forward. Flick on from Christian Rodriguez. Arango getting the better there of Forlan. Expansive pass. It's read all the way by Carini. Well, more Copa America football coming up for you later. Stay with us. Late night for you, and why not? It's the Brazilians in action against Chile. Stay right here on Sky Sports 1 for the second of the quarters. Nea Vitali. Slip allows the ball to drift onwards to Arango. Rojas. An area where he's a degree more comfortable. It's a deep ball. This is Arango, but Lugano read that superbly.
Excellent defensive play by Lugano. He seems to have moved more into a central defensive position on the left side, and you know, he's made one or two very, very important interceptions.
Paez for Rojas. Lovely turn from Maldonado. Oh, what a pity he ran it out of play, because he was running free of Lugano there.
Yeah, you're right, Kevin. I think he had the pace to get away from Lugano, but this is a shrewd fullback, and he's not easily beaten. Should be booked for kicking the ball away, but I think he was just a bit more frustrated at his own ineptitude there. The ball was on his right side, not his favoured side. He didn't control it too well. I think his head was up thinking, where am I going to play this once I got on to my left? But you know, I agree with the referee. It wasn't a deliberate attempt to kick the ball away and prevent the Venezuelan side from taking the early throw, and it was just frustration. He was annoyed with his own performance.
Good refereeing from Carlos Chandia. They haven't had a yellow card so far. The vast majority of the games have been played in an excellent spirit, a spirit of attacking football. There hasn't been too much play acting. It's been pleasant to report.
Yeah, I do notice a judge to have used there, I think, to prevent the fullback getting out, and the assistant right on the spot had his flag up instantly.
Carini has not had a real direct save to make yet. Vega at the other end has had several.
And one or two misses in addition. A couple of shots from Forlan which have been past the post, so you know, the better chances have undoubtedly fallen to Uruguay.
Crowd a little unhappy. Suggesting that Recoba's making more of this than there should be. We just talked about little or no play acting, but hard to tell really from where we are. swift recovery nonetheless.
Well, he's limping back into action. It'll be interesting to see when the ball comes in his vicinity how he responds. It didn't seem to be too serious a tackle there.
Obstruction there from Vera.
Yeah, Rodriguez clearly bumped off the ball.
Quickly taken by Uruguay. Forlan onside! Goal! Uruguay! And a rescue for Diego Forlan, who missed a sitter early on in the first half, but he wasn't going to miss that one. And those behind.
That was a real striker's goal there. Quick into the action, onto that through ball. Very quick free kick, excellently taken, and Forlan no mistake on that occasion. So Rodriguez was fouled. They took the free kick quickly. Venezuela not concentrating, and as a result, Forlan with the six-pack stomach, happy to show us, stuck the ball away brilliantly.
A body as impressive as the finish. Diego Forlan makes it 1-0 Uruguay. You know, Craig, we've been talking about Rojas looking more comfortable going forward, and he was the defender that was way behind the rest and played Forlan on.
Yep. The one who's used the furthest forward. It's quite ironical, but it's an ironic situation. But it was an unnecessary foul on Rodriguez, and it was taken very quickly, played forward to Forlan and through the leg, and he finished it brilliantly.
Two Uruguayan players down. Players in contact. The other player that went down happened off the ball, Maldonado.
Yeah, we didn't see it.
Free kick Venezuela. A very advantageous position. Can they strike back quickly?
Rodriguez could be in trouble. Rodriguez, Dario Rodriguez. Tough guy playing in Germany. The defender wide of the post there just to prevent the turn in. So his wall will be lined up normally the width of at least one body beyond the post, depending of course on the information they have about the lads who's likely to take it. Some can bend it considerably more than the width of one player. If that's the case, they'll be wall a bit further out.
Rojas standing closest to the ball. Arango would be the most likely to try and produce something here. So it will be Real Mallorca's Juan Arango trying to produce something beyond that four-strong Uruguayan wall. Arango! Yes! Slightest of deflections, but cleanly hit by the golden boy of Venezuelan football. And finally, Arango comes alive in the Copa America.
The stadium comes alive too with great justification. Juan Arango, what a strike there with that left foot. He drove it brilliantly there. There looked to have been a slight deflection that went through the wall, so the wall's culpable. No chance for the keeper because he would expect his wall to do the job there. And it fires into the back of the net. Great goal. This man has brought the stadium, everyone to his feet, and the stadium is alert.
A very ordinary tournament by his standards prior to tonight, but when it mattered, Arango delivered. Good defending here by Cicero. What an atmosphere inside this stadium now in San Cristobal. Venezuela, prior to this tournament, had only ever won one Copa America match in their entire history. They doubled that at the group stage with a win over Peru, and now they just might be in the mood to take the scalp of Uruguay. and find a berth in the semi-finals. And that really would be the beginnings of a fairy tale.
Well, I thought the defending there from Cicero was superb, because it looked to me as though Forlan was going to outpace him down the right-hand side, but the big fella Cicero, who plays his football, I think, in Bulgaria, he just went into second gear and managed to not only clear the ball, but win it, turn and get a throw in to his own side after great possession there by Uruguay. Terrific defensive play by Cicero. You know, there was an elaborate attempt to make a very assured wall there, and after all the shaking of the wall, the ball went through it. I think it was Christian Rodriguez who left it back, and he seemed to move to the side, the ball just would come past him. So the goalkeeper can't be blamed if the ball goes right through the wall. That's the job of the 4 men there. They had 4, I think, and they must be faulted.
All the way back here with Vega. Pablo Garcia. Diego Perez tracking back by Arango. Vera.
Great tackle by the man there. What a fine player he is.
Reminds me a lot of Javier Zanetti, just in the way he runs, the way he holds himself.
Yeah, defensively, very much like Zanetti, but I don't see him going forward at all, and Zanetti likes to get into forward position.
Now, here come Venezuela again. Lugano's got more defending to do. Dionelas. A little bit of tunnel vision there, and an injury in the process. Dionelas. He says play on. Uruguay in the mood to do just that. Cracking first half. Just about to enter stoppage time. In 1 minute of that.
Yeah, very good first half, Kevin. I think the result just about right as they go in. The chances fell undoubtedly to Uruguay, in particular to Forlan. But I think Venezuela have deserved the goal they got, and they played very capably without creating quite as many chances, but they looked good, they looked assured and very well coached.
Probably the last opportunity of the half. Plenty of blue shirts in and around that Venezuelan penalty area, and that is a total waste. That will not have pleased the coach Tavares one little bit. The moment Venezuela struck back.
Yeah, Christian Rodriguez turned his back, the ball been off his side and was deflected very slightly, but that was a shocking wall. You know, to get that ball through the wall is unforgivable, and I think I'll be having a word with Rodriguez if I were the coach.
There's the 2 goal scorers. We might just be 45 minutes away from penalties. No extra time. 1-1 at the break.
It's a long way from Tuesday's 0-0 ball draw, isn't it? The hosts fighting for their lives. Trevor Francis, Paul Merson in the studio watching it. They'll give us their views in a moment. Diego Forlan, the man, but only for 4 minutes. Arango says, no, this one isn't over yet. Diego Forlan, Juan Arango on the score sheet. Who else to join them? Let's find out. Back to our commentary team. San Cristobal the setting. It's Craig Brown with Kevin Keatings.
Welcome back. All to play for then in the remaining 45 minutes. No extra time. Straight to penalties after 90 if the sides are still level. Daniel Arismendi is on as well at the start of the second half for the hosts, Venezuela. He was the top Venezuelan-born scorer in the last league season just finished. And there's one goal already in this tournament. There's Arango! Fine positioning there from Carini, right on the edge of his 6-yard area, and beat away a strong shot from Arango.
Yeah, that is a good shot. From a standing position to get as much power as that on the ball is quite difficult, and he did exceptionally well, but it was a straight one. And Carini not troubled, really.
Christian Rodriguez. Diego Forlan, who's got Uruguay's goal. First goal of the night, cancelled out by Arango. Should be the goalkeepers. Confirmation of Arismendi there, who's on for Deonelas. So there's a good deal of pace, Arismendi. Runs well off the ball. Interesting to see how he links up with Maldonado.
Well, we've got to concede that Deonelas didn't cover himself in glory in the first half. He was a bit short of the pace. One of the few players who looked just slightly to sorts in the first half, because there was a lot of quality in this pitch, and they played very well in an exciting and enjoyable first half.
Paez edged out of it by Jorge Fusil. Now Alvaro Recoba receives well from Christian Rodriguez, and then Recoba's given it away. Desperately short of match practice, Recoba. Didn't figure at all for Inter Milan in their Serie A title-winning season. As I mentioned in first half commentaries, had a lot of injuries, but he's by no means first choice when fit at Inter. This is Forlan, gets away from Cicero, but not from the redoubtable figure of Hector Gonzalez, the right back.
He's done well, hasn't he, Rodriguez? He's been involved in both goals. You know, he was fouled, and the quick free kick taken by Scotty resulted in the opening goal for Uruguay. A great goal by Forlan, but it was a free kick on him, and then of course he turned his side on the wall, and I think the ball deflected from his back, and so involved in both goals. Rodriguez had a lot in the play. Here he is again.
As we said in first half commentaries, only 21, Christian Rodriguez, not a regular in France with Paris Saint-Germain, maybe attracting the attention of one or two interested parties.
Yeah, he wasn't in the picture at all with the coach they had for most of the season, Guy Moncom, but when Paul Le Guen came, he quickly restored him to the side, and that coincided with a return to fortune for PSG. They managed to win a few games and clear themselves of relegation, which for a while was staring them in the face.
Paez finding Rojas. Son of the coach again, this is Ricardo Paez.
Yeah, he said a couple of unforced errors at the start of the second half of Paez. I just wonder how long his father's patience will last.
Fusil. Christian Rodriguez nicely down the line here to an onside Recoba. Very well dealt with by the calm figure of Cicero.
Yeah, what about the pace of Cicero cutting across there again? You know, he's a most impressive defender.
Arango. Was he caught there by Pablo Garcia? Yes, he was, and Garcia gets the first yellow card of the evening.
Yeah, a bit unfortunate, I think. Garcia there going for the ball, but slightly late, and yellow card awarded.
Vastly experienced player, 30 years old, Pablo Garcia. It's his 61st cap this evening.
Yeah, I think the side Celta Vigo were relegation trouble, relegated.
Yes, he went down from the top division in Spain. Season just finished. Rojas, who plays his football in Colombia. Not able to pick out a burgundy shirt there.
Yeah, a bit of frustration being displayed, but the ball I don't think was a bad one. I just think that no one attacked it. It was played across the face of the goal, just a little too far out for the keeper, so I think Rojas could have done better. He could have been tried to get on the end of it.
Vera. Arango going to ground, no free kick for him. There will be one now for Uruguay. A little tap on the ankle of Forlan. Here's Christian Rodriguez. Fusil. Taken on here by Recoba. It's a fine pass. Well, no host nation has failed to get beyond the group stage of a Copa America, so Venezuela, pressure was on not to be the first. They've avoided that ignominy.
Yes,
more than that, they may be on the way to the semis.
Exactly. I mean, so doing has kept the interest in the nation. I'm sure every town and city in the country, they'll be wearing the replica strips, they'll be out singing, they'll be watching in the bars, and there'll be screens everywhere. So, you know, I've been in a number of occasions in the host country of a major tournament, and I think Korea was a perfect example. Seoul was a place where Gus Hiddink had the Korean team doing so well in the World Cup in 2002. I had the privilege of being there, and it was a fantastic experience.
Alvaro Recoba preparing to take this Uruguayan free kick. Way too much on that. Just trying to put some pace on it, overcooked it.
Yeah, Recoba is a player just now looking as though, as you said earlier, Kevin, he hasn't had much match practice. First couple of corners he hit were short. There's an overhit free kick. He just hasn't got the range yet, and you know, you need a lot of games. You need to get match practice. I think it's like any sport. But in this one, when you're the set piece man, you've got to do better, I think, particularly the experience that Recoba has.
Uruguay coaxed Recoba out of retirement. He's 31 now. Venezuela looking for a free kick further up the field, but play was continuing there.
I think there's someone hurt, and they were trying to play the ball out of play, and it's hit an opponent in the face. Strange goings on here.
Mendy having plenty to say there to the Chilean referee, Carlos Chandia.
The referee should give him a whistle, I think.
Further stoppage here. This is Rojas who's down now. Looks happy enough with life, just wanted a rest, I think. No, that's a little bang in the face, but Rojas is okay.
Yeah, I know that with a ball shouldn't cause any player to go onto his knees. Go away. Particularly as the balls are getting lighter and lighter.
Nice touch from Christian Rodriguez, got away from Vera. It's width on the right-hand side here from Pereira. He's taking on far too much there, Pereira, and this is Paez. play. Rojas. A bit of room now and time for Vera. Arango. Lovely ball. Mendy.
Yeah, great ball, but a very weak finish from Mendy. You know, you'll be disappointed with that one. That didn't cause the keeper any trouble whatsoever.
Another example of the quality, though, of Juan Arango. Slide rule pass. Vitali. Here's Arango again, much more eager to get on the ball tonight. Hector Gonzalez.
Yeah, brilliant there, Hector, the turbocharged fullback, getting right into the box, and his cross was weak, but to get there, he deserves great credit because he's supporting the front. And that is actually giving Rodriguez wide on the left a bit of an opportunity because he's got an attacking tendency, and Rodriguez standing out there sometimes is unmarked.
Well, here is Christian Rodriguez again. Picks out Forlan, layoffs lovely for Recoba. The shot won't trouble Vega, but there was a lot to admire about that counter-attack from Uruguay.
Great play, yes, it started wide on the left and the ball was played in. A nice layoff and fine shot. Everything about it was first class, but unfortunately for Uruguay, Perez's shot was fired past the post.
Oh, and that pass to Cicero is short, but the whistle is in evidence to halt Recoba, who was just ready to pull the trigger with the left foot.
Yeah, I think he did get a fair knock there in the calf. I had little sympathy with him a minute ago when the ball hit him in the face, but it looked as though he might have got quite a kick on his calf. But here he goes all of a sudden, miracle cure.
Not a good challenge that from Perez, but no action taken against him. Arango's sweeping pass. He kept alive here by Maldonado. Corner Venezuela.
Good diagonal ball there to Maldonado, and he did well to force a corner kick for his side. You know, it looks as though at the moment it's a set piece or a bit of carelessness which will create vital second goal.
Cicero's already scored one goal and one in his own net in this tournament, but he's an imposing figure when he gets forward for set pieces. He'll need to deliver better corners than that. Maya Vitali. Was expecting Maldonado to be wider than he was.
Yeah, I would question that one. I just wonder whether he was offside. But if there's any doubt, and the forwards in line, offside is the correct decision if it's an line job. But I thought he maybe was played onside on that occasion, and could have been Dorio Rodriguez who was playing it.
Venezuela qualified for the quarterfinals by topping Group A. Uruguay only just squeezed through as the second best of the third place teams. Scored only one goal in their 3 group matches. Up until tonight, they'd showed a real lack of imagination in the final third, but there's been a lot to admire about them tonight. Should really be clear of Venezuela by at least a goal, probably 2, but they're not. Pereira, Forlan, Garcia. Howls of derision from the home fans as Uruguay go backwards. This is Dario Rodriguez. Christian Rodriguez. Not away effectively enough by Venezuela, driven in by Recoba. That was a waste. Here's Arango. On the run now, the pacey Maldonado. Perfectly timed challenge from Scotty.
Yeah, that was good defending from Scotty there. You know, he showed great vision, I think, when they took the free kick quickly to open the scoring, because he played it into the path of Forlan and he stuck at the back of the net. And there he was in the defensive role, doing very well again.
Onside here, Fusil, can he get there? Not quite. He's willing enough.
Well, the young lad from Porto did well. He nearly caught the ball, but just rolled over for a goal kick. But Fusil too, trying to get forward.
Saw quite a bit of him playing for Porto in the Portuguese league last season, and he actually went on loan there originally. He's 22, Jorge Fusil, and he did so well, he bagged himself a 4-year contract. Arango. Really has been quite a climb up the ladder from Venezuela to emphasize their improvement. In the last decade, they were ranked 129th in the world in 1998. By 2003, they've improved to 57th, a climb of 72 places in 5 years. Slipped a little bit since then, they're 70th. But they're holding their own here in the tournament they're hosting, to the delight of their vociferous support. In comes a cross, and it's calmly dealt with by Dario Rodriguez. Garcia. Lovely touch from Forlan.
Rodriguez on the left-hand side has been much more purposeful, and I think the best attacks created by Uruguay have been down his side. They've not done much on the right-hand side at all.
Lugano. Pablo Garcia. It's asking way too much of Fusil. All about a little bit of belief now for Venezuela. Went so long losing football matches, but under Richard Paez, they've lost that defeatist mentality. He said once upon a time the players used to go out wondering how many they were going to lose by. That was risky from Vega. Just, but only just, got it above the head of Recoba. Just get a sense that fortune will favour the brave in the remainder of this match. Remember, no extra time, it's penalties after 90 minutes for a place in the semi-finals. Forlan. Pablo Garcia! Brilliant! It's a quite outstanding goal from Pablo Garcia. And you'll go a long way to see better approach play and better finishing than that.
Yeah, it was a wonderful goal. He's just been yellow carded a few minutes ago. He's responded with a terrific goal. He placed that brilliantly into the top corner. Left foot, curling shot, well out of the reach of the goalkeeper Vega, and a thoroughly deserved goal from the player Pablo Garcia, who has done exceptionally well in the match. I think he's got 60-odd caps now, or around the 60 caps, but very few goals. Maybe that's his third goal in international football.
It is indeed, and it It's come at a very, very opportune time. An unlikely goal scorer, but a fantastic goal. And so for the second time, Venezuela have to try and come from behind.
Yeah, great to see a ball passed into net like that. That was a lofted pass, curled with his left foot. Last night, Mascherano, he did the same, but it was a driven on his right low. He passed it into the back of the net to score for Argentina. And I think it's a feature of South American football. There's a tendency not to blast the ball for goal, but to take more care with placing it. And direction is more important often, well, obviously, than pace. And there's a tendency in our country to try to drive every goal. The shot that will bust the net.
Coming together there of Forlan and Arismendi, and a yellow card for Diego Forlan. He's not at all happy with Arismendi. The referee has deemed it Forlan's offence. Just bumped into one another. Whether there was anything deliberate, let's see. Well, no wonder Forlan looked distressed. That was a poor decision.
Yeah, it is a poor decision. There was no malice in it at all. It was more playful, I think. And smiles in the faces, but you know, two goal scorers yellow carded. Garcia, great goal, he was yellow carded, and of course Forlan also. So who's going to get the next yellow card? The other goal scorer.
Orengo looking for the chest pass for Arismendi. Rakoba. Christian Rodriguez free to his left. Here he is. Forlan galloping into position adjacent to the penalty spot. Not used yet. This is Fusil. Christian Rodriguez. Taken on here by Perez, but comfortable at the back in the end for Venezuela.
Yeah, Rodriguez got a long cross there from standing position. He did well, but Perez might have been a bit sharper onto the ball, I think. But again, this tussle between Hector Gonzalez at right back and Rodriguez wide in the left for Uruguay is quite an intriguing one.
Yes, each trying to impose themselves on the other. And Christian Rodriguez of Uruguay just about coming out on top at the moment, as indeed in the match overall are Uruguay. Here's Maldonado trying to do something about the scoreline. And it's Hector Gonzalez! And it needed helping away by Carini. It was on target.
Yeah, it was a good strike. Very much on target. And the first class goalkeeper, Fabian Carini, over to his left-hand side and just tipped it over and round for a corner kick.
It's lifted the belief amongst the Venezuelan support that they can come up with a second equaliser. Big centre-back Ray takes up a position at the near post. Paez will take the corner. I think they're going to wait until they make the substitution. Looked like Maldonado's number 9 was up there. Meantime, Hector Gonzalez. With all due respect to Cypriot football, he looks a little handy to be playing his club football with AEK Larnaca. Hector Gonzalez. Paez with a corner. Little flick on, might just reach Arismendi, not quite. Defending good from Uruguay. 20 fascinating minutes left here for a first place in the Copa America semi-finals of 2007. the movement ahead of him. Paez.
Tendency for Paez to give the ball away. At the start of this half, twice he gave possession away and I made the point, and the errors were unforced. There was a third example, and I'm just wondering if he might be a candidate for substitution.
At the moment, you might say, Father being a bit lenient with him.
I think so.
Well, it is Maldonado whose night is at an end. He's been replaced by Cesar Gonzalez. Essentially a midfield player, Cesar Gonzalez, so Venezuela has put Arango up front now along with Arismendi.
Yeah, I think that's a good move because Arango's very dangerous, and although he's done well on the left-hand side of midfield, he could be a problem to the Uruguayan defence. He was played up front along with Arismendi.
There's the goal again. Just an object lesson that you don't need to put your instep through every shooting opportunity. Wonderfully guided into the top corner from Pablo Garcia.
Yeah, he shaped up his body brilliantly there, opened it out, and the shape of the ball was even better. You know, that was most exquisite finish. Terrific play.
Well, we've become accustomed to technique being very high on the South American continent. It certainly was there. Forlan. Cesar Gonzalez. Paez. Nicely worked by Venezuela. No quality on the cross.
No quality, and Rojas came in there to the striking position, outnumbered. 4 Uruguayan blue shirts there, and only the one striker, Rojas, to attempt to receive that cross.
Just enough pressure there from Rojas on Perez, who was wanting a free kick, nothing doing. But it may just be the perfect scenario now for Uruguay. Venezuela have got to gamble. Uruguay have got the players to hurt them on the counter and exploit the space, which inevitably the hosts are going to have to leave as the seconds tick on. Fusil. Christian Rodriguez away from Hector Gonzalez.
Both of them, Gonzalez at the back and Rodriguez got the better of that, although he's cut back. Wasn't perfect. It was good play along the goal line.
Paez, just a little hasty with this pass.
I think Arismendi a bit frustrated that he didn't get a better pass there. You know, he's worked hard since he's come on without much in the way of service.
Lugano. Copa. Well timed by Ray.
Yeah, his touch is out, Copa. You can see that both in delivery of the long and short passes and also in dribbling. You know, I'm disappointed that he's not made better impact.
Hector Gonzalez. Paez. Cesar Gonzalez, now Mayor Vitali, fighting to shoot. Blocked well by Pablo Garcia. What a good job he does. Essentially, he's the holding midfield player for Uruguay. He's come up with the goal that might just be booking the place in the semi-finals as Mayor Vitali goes off, replaced by Alejandro Guerra.
Yeah, Mayor Vitali hadn't a lot of impact in the game either, and you know, he went off, and on has come Guerra. Fresh legs, last 15 minutes, and you expect a substitute to come on and put 90 minutes effort into 15 and keep going.
Useful ball in, difficult to defend. And Uruguay have survived that, but there was perfect weight on that pass.
Yeah, that's a great pass. And I actually thought he might have gone for it with his head, but he stretched there with the leg and just managed to get a touch on it, but he went tantalisingly past, and Gonzalez failed to make decent contact. And it was a great goal.
Started that off a good foot, maybe 2 feet outside the right-hand post of the goalkeeper, and it curled back beautifully for Garcia. This is Guerra. And a free kick out of Fusil. And Venezuela have got a little over 12 minutes to retain interest in the Copa America, hosting it for the first time ever. They've waited over 90 years for this moment. Is their adventure going to extend? Guerra's earned another free kick. Taken quickly. Uruguay are wanting a substitution. They won't mind now, though. They've got the ball back, and they've got a 3-on-3 here. Copa just eased out of it by Ray. It's a suggestion. There might have been a bit of a push in the back of Recoba, but no great complaints. Recoba's night is up. Clearly short of full fitness.
Not surprisingly, I would say. Wonderful player over the years, but did little to justify his big reputation in this evening's match.
And on in his place comes Ignacio Gonzalez of the Danubio club for his 6th cap. Straight into the action here. Garcia. Christian Rodriguez has worked really hard this evening for Uruguay. Third goal will surely end it as a contest. Fairly comfortable for Vega in the end.
Yeah, that was selfish. He'd have played it square into the path of Gonzalez, coming up his outside there, and he turned and had a shot. No power on it at all with his left foot, but he had a colleague just on his left side, just knock it sideways a couple of yards, and the supporting player, Gonzalez, could have had a far better attempt at goal.
Fell to the wrong player, really. It was Fusil, the left back, who turned and had the rather weak effort. Richard Paez, Venezuelan coach, just asking for steady heads out there. There's still time for Venezuela, more than enough time to come back into this quarter-final. But Uruguay looking the more likely to score next. Vera. Rojas. Cesar Gonzalez getting a good foot in there for Venezuela. Great cross! Arismendi was, what, about 2 feet short of making that an easier header than it was.
Yeah, it was a good ball, a great ball across the face of the goal. Arismendi stretching all the time for it. Perhaps had the right situation earlier and gone round the back. A bit earlier he might have managed to get some touches in that header, but as it was, he delayed his run, and it was a ball which was going over his head all the way.
What it has done, Craig, is lift the atmosphere here in San Cristobal. Arguably the most atmospheric of all the grounds used for this Copa America. It was rocking when Juan Arango equalised from that free kick in the first half, and they've still got belief in their team.
Yeah, it was a delight to see the response from the crowd from that goal, and I do think that a bit far back as there in many of the stadium. You know, I think the dual purpose situation generated the money on the running track as well. It takes away from the atmosphere a bit, but it was good atmosphere here. That was a weak shot, and never likely to cause anything. No hurry, he's comfortable position, and he's just taking his time with the goal kick.
It's been far and away Uruguay's best performance so far in this tournament. They were unconvincing in their 3 matches in the group. They drew 0-0 with Venezuela only last Tuesday. They were thrashed 3-0 by Peru in their opening match, which put them firmly on the back foot. And they squeezed past Bolivia by a 0-0. The lower scorers in the group phase. But they've shown plenty of attacking intent tonight. Here they come again. Strong play from Christian Rodriguez. Good claim by Vega. How important that was for Venezuela.
Great save from Renny Vega, because it was tremendous play again from Rodriguez. Moving onto the right side, come along the goal line, putting it across the face of the goal, and the goalkeeper pounced on him. He had to, because there was a great opportunity for Forlan coming in to finish the job. This is good play, left foot on it. Forlan there, but the keeper intercepted the ball.
Yellow card has been shown by the referee. It's a little unclear as to in whose direction. Get confirmation of that in a moment. Ignacio Gonzalez has only been on as a substitute a few minutes. Here come Venezuela. The pass is just too heavy for Arismendi.
Yes, it's at this point in the game when we hope that the home crowd will try to lift the side, stimulate them into a grandstand finish, you know, and put final pressure onto the Uruguayan defence. And we do hear the volume increasing, but it could be louder still, I think.
Terrific from Logano. What a good defender he is.
Yeah, tower of strength throughout this match, and as usual, I could say that on almost every occasion for his club and country.
Ray. Little touch from Arango. This is Cesar Gonzalez. Venezuela not finished yet. Hector Gonzalez, they're queuing up in the middle. So too there is a grateful Carini.
Yeah, disappointing finish from Hector there, who got well forward, as we've seen throughout the match, and as we correctly described him, the turbo who's been up and down that right-hand side for Venezuela. A great endeavour, great enthusiasm, and unfortunate little return.
Well, as Venezuela chase the equaliser, the game very stretched now. Forlan. Carried out of it by Guerra. Garcia. Fusil. Paez. Cesar Gonzalez, no contact in the eyes of the referee. Here's Forlan. Uruguay can finish it off now. Great opportunity, Christian Rodriguez. And that's it. Uruguay through to the semi-finals. And fitting that one of the best players out there tonight should score it. Christian Rodriguez of PSG has wrapped it up for Oscar Tabarez and Uruguay. 3-1.
What a fine shot from Rodriguez. He buried that brilliantly with his left foot, and you know, the fashionable situation, left-footed player coming in from the right onto his favoured foot, and he struck it brilliantly. This is a young 21-year-old lad playing in Paris, not on the side for long spells, we've said, throughout the season. Came back into the team at the end of the season, and you can see why. And I would say that he has been the outstanding player in the match game.
Well, you begin to wonder why he couldn't find a regular place in a struggling Paris Saint-Germain side last season, but this sort of form is surely going to see him start more next season under Paul Le Guen, who, as Craig Brown pointed out earlier in commentary, when he came in, did use him more regularly than the previous incumbent.
Yeah, I think the fact that the failure to use him perhaps cost Gaël Uncle his job, because, you know, that on the evidence of this match and in his play towards the end of the season, he would have been a great asset to the Paris side, but he wasn't used, and he struggled until Paul Le Guen came and he restored him to the team.
But a strike of the left foot from Christian Rodriguez has ended a nation's dream. It's been a brave fight from Venezuela, but surely their number is up here. Poured away by Carini. It'll be another corner, and we've got 2 minutes left, plus any time to be added on.
2 minutes, and some of them have given up already. I see the seats emptying, the yellow seats there. That was completely full up 2 minutes ago.
In by Guerra. Well, that's harsh. If any fans are leaving early, they should stay and applaud this Venezuelan team, who've gone further in a major competitive tournament than they've ever been before. Never passed the group phase of the Copa America in their history. But the hosts are bowing out in the round of the last 8.
Yeah, it's disappointment for all concerned, particularly the enthusiastic followers in the Venezuelan country. They must be extremely disappointed, because they thought, I think, genuinely with a good chance against Uruguay this evening.
A late substitution by the coach Tabarez. Dario Rodriguez is coming off. Not in any great hurry to do so. And on in his place will come another defender, Diego Godin.
Well, you can be sure it will be a defender, because there's no need to chase the game. 3-1 up, you're moving into the last couple of minutes in stoppage time. And Godin, an appropriate replacement.
His first appearance at this Copa America. 21-year-old from the Nacional club. Corner conceded by Uruguay, who are edging closer and closer now. It's just a matter of how much extra time there will be.
Yeah, they're running the clock down. That's their intention at the moment.
But fully deserved for Uruguay, Craig. I don't think anybody can doubt that.
No, fully deserved. They could have been 3 up in the first 20 minutes. Had Forlan, he had two great chances in particular, but you know, I felt that it was a very capable performance from Venezuela, but the added experience, greater experience of Uruguay, better concentration, and of course the performance of Rodriguez gave them a victory which I think they thoroughly deserved.
We're playing the first of 3 extra minutes. It'll be Brazil or Chile to meet Uruguay in the semi-final, and stay right with us. The whole of the Brazilian match coming up right here on Sky Sports 1, so don't move anywhere. More live Copa America football for you. Brazil, far from impressive so far. Will they be serving their best football up for the knockout stages? They've already beaten Chile 3-0 the group stage, so they start firm favourites. There's been 1 or 2 surprises in this tournament. Maybe Chile can serve up another. Paez. Here's the excellent Christian Rodriguez. Don't know whether that's his natural build or whether he's carrying an extra pound or 2, but hasn't affected his performance tonight as they look for a 4th. And they've got it. Tucked away by Diego Forlan. The gloss on a heartening night for Uruguayan football. Perhaps it's flattered them just a touch, but maybe only just a touch. But Forlan gets his 2nd of the evening.
Yeah, it looks as though he's got the first for them and the last for them. It was a fine finish, good save, and unfortunately for the keeper, it broke right into the path of Forlan, and he doesn't miss from that range. He could easily have had a hat-trick here tonight, or even more, 4 goals, but 2 goals he'll be happy with. You can see the delight in his expression, and he thoroughly deserved it because, as always, he has worked extremely hard.
41st cap and 14th goal of his international career for Diego Forlan. Referee from Chile might just want to very quickly put Venezuela out of their misery now. There'll be no parties around San Cristobal and the rest of the country, because Venezuela, as far as they've ever been in a competitive tournament, are out. The hosts depart, and a hitherto unimpressive Uruguay have served up a very good performance here tonight. Just 1 goal in their 3 group matches, but they've powered 4 past Venezuela tonight, and Venezuela deservedly through to the semi-finals.
The hosts out. Uruguay can still make it 15 Copa Americas. They put on a wonderful party. Some sad faces. Just hope now they continue to patronise these games and we can keep those stadiums full for the remainder of it. What a real fight. Just outclassed at the end of the day, weren't they? Brazil are up next. They've won the trophy 7 times. Looking for an 8th. They've yet to find their form. What will they do tonight? Chile, the opposition, in their quarter-final. Next here on Sky Sports 1. Trevor Francis and Paul Merson are here with us. We'll get their views on that and look ahead to Brazil very shortly. The night belongs to Uruguay so far, and this man, Diego Forlan, 2 for him, helped put Uruguay into the semi-finals.
Holds barred. No quarter given. No sport like it. Cage Rage next Saturday, 9 p.m. Sky Sports 3.
Come and take a trip in my rocket ship. We'll have a lovely afternoon.
Lacoste Elegance, the new fragrance for men.
And away we fly.
The FBI estimates that there are less than 50 serial killers active in the United States today. Sometimes I wonder what it's like for the others.
My name's Dexter. I'm a serial killer. Nice to meet you.
You better be a cop.
No, forensics. I find the killers the cops can't catch.
Mary, full of grace, the Lord.
Stop! That never helped anybody. Which is why if I'm looking for you, you better hope they get to you first.
Dexter, the killer new series, only on FX.
The summer sale is now on at DFS.
Not another sale!
No, actually, we only have 2 sales a year, when there's double savings on a great range and absolutely everything is reduced.
Everything?
Everything. There's also 3 years free credit, and as always, the first year is totally payment-free. And with sofas like this at £498 and luxury leather for just $799, it's not just another sale. The double savings summer sale is now on at
DFS!
Foster's super chilled. Well, you wouldn't want a warm beer, would you?
This summer, Fiona's back.
He's a live-in babysitter.
Where's the baby?
Snow, I can't accept this.
Oh, think nothing of it. I've got 6 more at home.
Shrek the Third.
Everyone knows a bloke like Mickey. To Mickey, hair isn't just hair. It's a weapon to be used to devastating effect. Mickey hates flakes. Of course, he's got a look for every occasion. There's the fluffy puppy, windswept and interesting. The intellectual, plain gorgeous. And his personal favourite, morning hair. Like Mickey, Blokes Who Know voted Head & Shoulders #1 in FHM's Readers' Poll.
BK Fusion's a real dairy ice cream fused with adult desserts like strawberry cheesecake or apple crumble. They're made for adult tastes. So how do you know if they will appeal to you? A mature sense of humour is a good indication. So right now, if you're finding any of this remotely humorous, it's safe to say they might not be for you. BK Fusion's ice cream has grown up.
Tomorrow, live from Old Trafford, it's the Battle of the Roses. Lancashire face Yorkshire in the County Championship. Tomorrow at 11 a.m, Sky Sports 2 and HD2.
Everything you see is interest-free?
Not when you got a few bob on 1-0, love.
Go! Sky Bet. It matters more when there's money on it.
Uruguay are through. They've beaten the hosts, Venezuela, by 4 goals to 1. 1-1 at half-time. Different prospect then, but overall Uruguay, but by far and away the better side. I think that's the opinions of you two, isn't it, Trevor Francis, Paul Merson? They deserve to go through.
What a transformation for Uruguay. When you think how they qualified with just the 1 goal from Sanchez, tonight they were top class.
What's changed?
Their approach, different attitude. It all stems from the coach, obviously. He puts the tactics out, and from the first minute they came out and attacked Venezuela, and they virtually did that for 90 minutes. The only little setback they had was just prior to half-time, when they lost a goal on the free kick. But second half, they were equally as good. Possibly 4-1 was a little bit unfortunate on Venezuela, flattered Uruguay slightly, but it's their best performance, without doubt. And for me, that is the most impressive performance I've seen in Copa America this year.
Sad to see the back of Venezuela, the hosts, in some respects, though, isn't it?
Not really. I don't think they're that good. I said it before the game. I think they're pretty average, so they won't be missed by me.
Vicente Sanchez was the only man before tonight to have scored for Uruguay. He was put on the bench to start with, but they found goals from elsewhere. Only one goal before tonight. It's key that they can find the back of the net. Most importantly, this man, Paul, you spoke about him before the game.
Yeah, if he can get on the score sheet like he did tonight, that they can be a threat. There's no question. This is great play. It's bright by him, and it's a great finish.
Scotty's ball through, Trevor. You picked it out of the time as being a little special. It was a great spot.
Well, they fell asleep, Venezuela, and they paid for it. You see the big defender there running back towards his own goal, facing the wrong way. He doesn't know what's happening, and they take the quick free kick. He still got a finish, Forlan, but he did it very clinically, and that gave him the confidence, because just prior to that, he had missed 4 good opportunities, but he didn't drop his head. His confidence, remained very high, and he got himself 2 goals in the game, which is terrific for Uruguay going into the semi-final.
Yeah, one each at half-time, though. Juan Arango that equalised 3 minutes before the break. Plenty of heart, plenty of spirit. You think at the end of the day, it's just class that's let them down tonight, Paul?
Yeah, I think it's class. You go through the other games, Peru had a player sent off early doors, and I thought Peru had enough chances in that game. That's bad defending. The wall just split, and I don't think the keeper has too much of a chance. He doesn't expect the wall to split. Its job's just to stand there still, and it didn't. But yeah, there was class in the Uruguay team, and there wasn't none in the Venezuela team. You got Forlan, who's a world-class he looks like a world-class centre forward, and that was the difference tonight as well.
The culprit was Rodriguez, the number 7. He was the last man. He turned his back on it. But you have to say, over the 90 minutes, that's about the only thing he did wrong. Because I thought he was brilliant tonight, and he capped a fine performance, by getting the last goal.
He did score. We'll see his goal in a moment. Before that, well, we've seen so many goals in this tournament. Is this the pick of the bunch so far? Pablo Garcia for 2-1?
For me, I would say so. It's good play. This is good play. One touch football now. And he just plays it in, gets a lovely return, and he just passes it into the net. There's no whacking it or trying to kick the lever off the ball.
If you watch number 6,
class.
Suchero, who comes to close him down, he actually turns his back. But I think Garcia uses him as a marker.
Yeah.
He knows exactly where he is.
Bend it around him.
So exactly, Paul.
Yeah.
So he can bend it around him into the top corner. And you're always looking at the goalkeeper and wondering whether he could do a little bit better. But on that occasion, you have to hold your hand up and say, one of the best goals in the tournament. It was a brilliant execution. Typical South American technique. We all, love to watch, the skills of the South Americans, and we talk a lot about it. But tonight we've seen some wonderful skills in some outstanding finishing.
Rodriguez with his goal, 81 minutes on the clock at this stage. You concur with Trevor, the best player on the night?
It was one of them, yeah, definitely. It was definitely one of them. Bar what he'd done in the first half, which could have sold his team up. But I like him. He's a good player. Composure here, and he knows what he's going to do as soon as he gets the ball. He knows he's going to come inside and he's going to win it. And it's a very good finish. The keeper's got no chance.
We've heard Tim Vickery say, when we've spoken to him throughout the tournament, that Uruguay often start badly. They work on a slow burner. They come into their own as we get into the knockout stages. I wonder why that is. Why is it that a team would start so poorly as they did, and all of a sudden today transform in such a short space of time?
You can draw parallels with Italy in Europe. Whenever Italy go into a major competition, in the early rounds, they play very poorly. I think back to '82 in Spain, when they actually won the trophy.
What do you put that down to, Trevor? Is it a mentality where certain teams and certain players play better when they have to win? That actually helps, perhaps?
I think it's Italians' mentality